When you hear the words peer pressure, you might imagine the dance campaign back in the 90s and early 2000s. They would have huge assemblies showing you a bunch of illegal substances and say, "Hey kids, don't give in to peer pressure and say no to drugs." Yeah, they thought the best way to steer kids away from drugs was first to show them exactly what they look like and how to get it. But I digress. My first experience with peer pressure wasn't with drugs. Oh no. I was peer pressure into having my first crush. Hey, I'm Kiki, and let me tell you about my first crush and how I was pressured into having one. So, back when I was in the fourth grade, I was a part of an all-girl friend group. Well, I was a part of a few different friend groups, but I typically hung out with this one. They were a handful of girls I had known since kindergarten. But that's where the similarities ended. These girls always dressed fashionably, well, for fourth graders, that is, and I typically wore long baggy shirts and shorts or jeans. They were interested in makeup and talking about boys, while I really just wanted to watch cartoons. I think at that point I was still friends with them because I had known them for so long. So one day, my friends and I were talking during free time in class, and the topic was which boys the girls liked. They each took turns talking about the boy that they liked and what they liked about him, and I sat there silently enjoying the conversation. I never thought anything about liking anyone, but I did like hearing about it from my friends. It always made them so happy. But suddenly, all eyes were on me. "So, Kiki, do you like anyone?" Not really." "Oh, come on, you have to like someone." "Well, I'm friends with Travis." "I don't mean like them as a friend." "And you can't like Travis because Erica already likes him." Quick note here, even at that age, I always thought it was weird that two girls couldn't have a crush on the same person. Like it was some weird dibs. At 9 or 10 years old, I still didn't have any interest in having crushes. Nothing about anyone appealed to me in that way. I liked having friends and socializing with them, but like them more than that, I just didn't think about it. Funny though, I still really liked playing MASH, a kid's paper game that predicted your future spouses, number of kids, future career, and what type of home you would live in. Mansion, apartment, shack, or house. MASH. But when it came to listing boys for potential spouses, I just rambled off friends of mine because I really didn't care who it landed on. However, when it came to this particular conversation about which boy in the class I had a crush on, I had to come up with someone. The girls just kept pressuring me to share who it was. And I didn't have a crush wasn't an acceptable answer. So I just picked one. Yeah, that's right. My first crush was a random boy in my class. The only thing I knew about him was that he would often do well on tests. "Do you like Ryan?" Yes? "Oh, why?" "Crap, I chose wrong. What do I do now?" "I can't change it." I like his face, but he looks like a girl." Ryan had longish hair, so this is why they said that. But to me, he looked like any other fourth grader. The rest of the school year, the girls kept asking me reasons why I liked Ryan, and I had to keep coming up with new ones. I had to keep pretending that I had a crush on him. Then the school field trip happened. On the school field trip, my friends kept pushing me to try to walk near Ryan, to talk to Ryan, and eat with him during lunch. I don't remember much about the trip, but what I do remember is the girls talking to me about how great it would be for me to sit next to Ryan on the way home. That way, I could pretend to fall asleep and lean on his shoulder. I cannot emphasize enough how I did not want to do that. how uncomfortable it made me. But since we were meant to sit in the same seat as that morning, what harm could it do committing to doing that? Saying yes to my friends made them happy, and I knew I really didn't have to do it. Except those little my charming friends set it up so I could sit right next to Ryan on the bus on the ride home. Being the people pleaser that I was, I felt like I had no choice. They went through all that trouble to make sure I could sit next to him. So when I got on the bus and sat next to Ryan, I pretended to fall asleep and eventually leaned my head on his shoulder, which was extremely hard to do, by the way. I was taller than him, and I had to slide down in my seat to make this work in the first place. The worst part of this whole thing was that when I leaned on his shoulder, he immediately moved away. Rap! In my 4th grade brain, that meant I had to try again. And I'm not proud of it, but I kept pretending to be asleep and leaned even more now onto his shoulder. I was so uncomfortable with the whole thing, and worse yet, poor Ryan was too. And unfortunately, I stayed that way for the whole bus ride. Sorry, Ryan. I think after that, I told my friends I no longer had a crush on him. I never wanted to be put in that situation again. Funny enough though, 2 years later in the 6th grade, I really did end up having a crush on him, but I ended up moving, and the closest thing I got to telling him was a note placed on his backpack before I moved. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoy my content, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. See you next time. Bye bye.